Willie D. Live.
What's up, family? This is a tale of two friends. On the left, Warren Hudson. Warren has been described as a nice, good, wholesome, decent, fine, upstanding young man. Any family, any parents would be proud to call a son. Nolan has been described as a good kid, very easy to get along, likable. Everybody liked him, endeared by all who has ever known him. He lit up the room when he would walk in. On July 4th, 2026, Nolan went missing after he was left on Horn Island by the guy to the left. His alleged best friend, let Warren tell it, his best friend, he left him on an island all by himself. Told him, hey man, get home the best way you can, so to speak. Next thing you know, Nolan comes up missing. Next thing you know, Nolan's body is discovered dead just 2 days later on July 6th. And ever since then, Warren has been given multiple detailed public interviews. Every interview, what Warren does not understand, creates a statement that can be checked. Oh yeah. Now, it's important to note, a contradiction doesn't prove guilt, but important contradictions deserve explanations. And I got somebody who's going to offer an explanation here. This is Attorney Keith. Check out what he has to say about all of this.
Hey, TikTok, it's Keith the lawyer. I get kind of sucked into these cases. I make one video and then I see another thing. Oh, I need to comment on that too, and so on and so on. So I don't know if this is going to turn into some kind of series or if this will be the last one. But I want to comment again on what is happening with this Nolan Wells case, and particularly what is going on with his supposed best friend, Warren Hudson, who seems to be a person of interest. I don't know if he's actually under suspicion or what, but his name seems to be thrown around a lot whenever people are talking about the case. And I mentioned yesterday that he was committing the classic blunder of talking to the cops when no defendant or suspected defendant, almost defendant, maybe defendant, no person like that should be talking to the cops in any respect whatsoever. But what this Warren Hudson guy is doing is actually the worst of all. He is creating a trap for himself. If he had any involvement, if he is remotely connected, he is creating a trap normally that law enforcement sets for you, but he is setting it for himself. And what he's doing is he is making statements. He is making specific statements about specific things that happen. I'm talking particularly here about his latest statement of, we tried to get Nolan to get on the boat. We begged him to get on the boat. He wouldn't get on the boat. It's things like this. You are locking yourself down to specific facts. And what law enforcement does from that point is they either verify or disprove those specific facts. And once you start poking holes in somebody's story, what that leads to is statements of, oh, well, that's not what I meant. What I meant was this. You make another statement, they poke holes in that, and so on and so on. Classic law enforcement behavior, but this Warren Hudson guy is doing it for them. The cops just have to sit back and watch. Now, it's possible this guy had absolutely nothing to do with it, but if he did, if he is remotely involved, if he has information, he is committing just a classic blunder. He needs to keep his mouth shut. Don't talk to the cops. Don't go on a podcast and talk about it. It just boggles the mind sometimes what people do, things that they're not supposed to do. Anyhow, those are my thoughts. What are yours? Tell me in the comments. I appreciate everybody watching. This is Keith the Lawyer.
There you go. Keep the lawyer. I ain't got no problem with that, but some of y'all do, so let's talk about it. Some of y'all really want this case to just go away. Ain't gonna happen. Yeah, man. Let's focus on Nolan's final hours. Who was present? What Nolan allegedly said, and how he was supposed to get home. I mean, it ain't like you left him somewhere where there's a bus route, or even where he could walk home, you know? He would have had to either swim back to shore, or catch a ride on a boat or a helicopter or something. Hey, listen, fam. You ain't got to listen to me. Listen to Warren. Listen to both versions. In fact, listen to all versions of the stories that he tell. Warren can't keep his mouth shut. Loose lips sink ships, man. You ain't heard? Did the Tatum interview backfire? We get to that on another one because I got something for that. I got something for that. The times, the locations, specific claims can potentially be compared with electronic and physical evidence. That's something they probably didn't think all the way through. Warren versus the evidence. So let's forget about the internet rumors for a moment. Let's compare Warren's claims against the GPS phone data, the videos, the photos, and other witnesses. That's all that really needs to be done. Because Warren ain't got to convince me. His story has to survive the evidence. You dig? Warren set his own trap. But his trap is not, it's not proof that he harmed Nolan, but it don't look good. One thing that he did, that all of these attorneys that I've spoken with said, I mean, every single attorney I've spoken with said the same thing. They said that, you know, when he started talking, he was committing himself publicly to increasingly specific details. That means the more he talks, the harder significant changes become to explain. No, you said this on this day. Well, no, you just, well, last time you said it. Well, look, when I talked to you 5 minutes ago, you said this. If Warren's telling the truth, the evidence should be his best friend. Right or wrong, fam? Right or wrong? If he's telling the truth. Warren, I do believe, has walked himself straight into a trap. And I think now, I'm going to tell you what I think he's going to do. I think he's gone down so far into that rabbit hole that he's going to continue to keep digging. I think he's going to keep digging. I don't think he's going to turn around and try to get out of there and say, oh, no, you know what? I'm just going to shut up. He's arrogant enough to think that he can explain away some of the things that he said. He's that arrogant. See, if you look at the entire case, if you look at it from an investigator standpoint, every interview he gives investigators another statement to check. Now, all they got to do is press play and compare his words to the evidence. And it's a wrap. It's a wrap. He's giving them a treasure trove of statements. Warren can't even keep up with his statement when he's doing an interview in the moment. He can't stay on track. That's how he put it out there. That's how we came to learn of Bart. Remember in the interview, he was saying Bart. He was like, Bart. At first he was like, my buddy, and then he slipped up and said Bart. And then I guess he thought, well, I put it out there already, but let me go and say his name again. He said Bart. And then he caught himself and he's like, okay, my buddy. He went back to my buddy. What's going on with this Bart thing? They just been really, really, really protective of Bart more than any of them. Warren has been more protective of Bart than he has of himself. And all of them are in survival mode. This is why they don't have any tears for Nolan. They're in survival mode. They don't have any, they can't express any type of remorse. They're in survival mode. All of them. But one thing that I do know, this particular crime is so big. This particular case, not crime. It's not a crime. A crime hasn't been committed. This particular case is so big, it's going to be hard to just sweep under the rug. And going forward, just rumors and stuff like that that could occur in, let's say, normally in a case where something like this has happened, crimes have been committed, because nobody is there to give the family justice, the whole town, the whole city, the whole state can know what happened, and nothing will ever happen because the family has laid down and just accepted that they're not going to get justice. This is different. I don't think that this family is going to just lay down and not pursue justice. I think they're in it for the long haul. Yeah. Again, this guy right here who said he was Nolan's best friend. Ooh, man, I thought, I always thought of a friend as someone who's your friend. Growing up, there used to be this little thing we used to say, you my friend to the end, till I die, you a God lie. Remember that? I wonder if Nolan ever told Warren that. No more talk.